Monday Night Chat with Wong Chen.
Brought to you by the Member of Parliament for Subang.
Hi, welcome to Monday Night Chat episode 76. This week we're doing the third part of a four-part series on COVID-19 and the economic situation. And then I'll do the Q&A on 120 seconds, 5 questions as usual. Hi, this is part 3 of a 4-part series on the economics of COVID-19 and talking about the new normal, what are we likely to face. Now let me just clarify one point. The new normal may last about 12 months to 18 months until we find a vaccine and deploy that vaccine overall. So the new normal may not be a permanent thing, but I do hope that we will move towards a greener, better economic system on production. So this week we're going to focus on the production sector or the private sector involved in production of goods. Now, Malaysia, as you know, is a big export nation. We produce a lot of things. Farming is a production activity. Agriculture, manufacturing, anything that involves the production of goods and selling of goods is part of this sector. Now, how badly will COVID-19 hit us? Now, if global demand drops, and it is estimated that global demand for this entire year will drop on a conservative level of 10 to 15%, then production will equally drop by 10 to 15%. Let's be clear about that. Okay? Early numbers from China shows that production in the first quarter of China's economy for exports dropped by 17%. Domestic consumption is not computed into this, but roughly there. And in the second quarter, we have to wait until September to get those numbers. That will be the most interesting numbers. We'll see whether the production has actually picked up or not. But overall, having lost about 17% of the first quarter, we estimate that for the entire year, the production sector will be sluggish, that overall 10% drop to 15% is likely. What does this mean? It means that our production centers, our factories, industries and all this need to be more competitive, need to be frugal with their spending, need to invest in technology, and need to ensure that their finances are in order. Some of this the government is trying to help, some are not very effective in helping. But generally, the production sector needs to help themselves. Yeah, that's the key point. And I think most CEOs out there understand that they have to help themselves and that they have to plan ahead. Now, there's going to be two major trends coming ahead for production sector. One, caused by the COVID-19, of course. One is that they will move towards more robotics and more technology over the next decade or so. This is because robots do not fall sick, whereas workers do fall sick and, they're not immune to COVID-19. So therefore, a lot of companies would think ahead and say, look, I don't want to have another pandemic, so let's invest in robotics. It could have very negative side to the people in terms of job losses across the board. It could also be productive, positive as well, in the sense that robotics probably going to be cleaner technology. We don't know, the jury's out there, but generally this trend is going to happen. Second is, we will see globalization reduce and more localization of production will take place. This is very simple as well, because during COVID-19, countries are shut. So if you are producing, say, a pair of shoes and the sole is made in Korea, the laces are made in Japan, these components cannot come if you are in a globalized chain system. So therefore, a lot of countries will try to do make sure that the shoe production, the sole is made in Perak, the laces made in Penang, and then the assembly of the shoe made in Selangor, so that inter-country, within Malaysia, you have a constant supply, less disruption of production of goods. So that's what will happen. Two things. One, move towards robotics. Second, move towards localization of production. And they will pose big challenges and cause protectionist policy rise across the world. A lot of the issues are now being played out. For instance, in China and US trade relations are all-time low. And even the EU, in Germany, they are thinking of an industrial system that focuses more on internal capacity and protectionist, and also keeping all the trade within the country to ensure that if a pandemic comes again, that they're more ready on the production side. That's it for this week on this 4-part series. Hi, for Q&A this week, Ivan has prepared 5 questions for me to answer, so I'll just start now. First question, TNB bills, what's the situation? Well, generally people are very, very unhappy, both business and normal people, families are unhappy with the TNB bills. That's primarily because there were no readings during the MCO period. So I hope that TNB will try to resolve the matter by making sure that the threshold for higher tariff rate is maintained or at least equalized over the three months period. I think it can be resolved, but everybody have a right to be angry. And the rumors going around that the chairman is getting 11 million, that is not true at all. I think at most, chairmen of big GLCs will probably get somewhere between $500,000 to 1 million a year. Still a lot, but that's not the issue. Number 2, online campaigning for Chini by-election. I think that's a good idea. It's also a necessity in light of the COVID-19 situation. I hope that the government, of course, have to improve the network connectivity. Otherwise, how can an online campaign really be effective? Third, brings us to the issue of the snap elections. There's a lot of talks for the last 2 weeks or so about general election, snap general election. We will only know when Parliament sits. If a bill is defeated, a finance bill is defeated during the July-August session, then there will be a snap election. Otherwise, don't listen too much to rumors. Number 4, state of the economy. Very quickly, unemployment rate is predicted to hit 5.5% at the end of the year. I think it might go as high as 8%. But I've already stated on many occasions that the corporate sector have about 3 months of capacity to take low revenue and face economic problems. That 3 months is up in July, so we shall know whether the state economy is going to be good or bad. Lastly, and very quickly, global COVID-19 update. By the time you see this video, which is shot on Friday, on Monday, I think the number would have breached 9 million people with 460,000 deaths and 4.5 million recovered. Stay safe, everybody.